How's it going, everybody? Welcome to WMCT Sports Wrap April 2019. We're here to bring the high school sports action from Marlboro High, Assabet Valley, and AMSA into your living room. I'm your host, Matt Bisaccio, and today we're going to get the tour through the city of Marlboro started over at Marlboro High as we check in on the boys lacrosse team.
Marlboro opened up their 2019 season at home as they faced off against the Spartans of Oakmont Regional. The Spartans got on the board right away. 39 seconds in, number 12 beats the double team and fires it low past the kick save attempt to give Oakmont a quick 1-0 lead. The Panthers would answer. Here, Sam Johnston gets the feed, sneaks through 3 defenders and goes between the goalie's legs. Then, a few minutes after that, the Spartan goalie tries to come out and make the check, but number 40 absorbs the contact and hits the shot, falling to the ground. Marlboro would lead 3-2 after 1. Oakmont would control play in the second. On this play, number 20 streaks down the field, draws the attention of all the defenders, and then drops it off, and number 18 takes advantage. Oakmont held the Panthers off the board and took a 4-3 lead into the break. Coach Bono wasn't pleased with his club's performance in the first half, and his team responded. First, Landry gets the feed from behind the net and goes over the goalie to tie the game. Then, Ben Hammond turns into a one-man show. He wins the face-off, turns on the Jets to chase down the ball, scoops, and scores. That's one heck of an effort. That would put Marlboro up 5-4, and they would go on to win on opening day, 8-5.
After the win over Oakmont, the Panthers have gone on to lose 7 in a row and find themselves in the basement of the Midwalk B. Hopefully they can turn it around in the second half of the year. Now let's turn our attention to the ladies as they took on Neshoba.
The 1-2 Lady Panthers look to make it 2 wins in a row against the 1-1 Lady Chieftains of Neshoba. We'll pick up the action in the second. Marlboro trailed by as many as 4 early on in the half, but they drew closer on this goal from Lindsay Lefebvre. Her first goal of the contest made it a 2-goal game with just over 11 minutes to go. Natasha Santos had a great look here to bring the Panthers within 1, but she's stonewalled by the keeper. And on Neshoba's next possession, Shauna Curran makes the cut towards the front and fires it past Rennie to push the lead back up to 3. Marlboro would answer. This time, Santos finds room top shelf, and the Panthers continue to hang in there down 2. Neshoba, though, comes right back. Bearmeister finds Graham's straight face, and she slaps it in to go up 3. Later, Lefebvre bounces in another goal, her second of the half. But the girls from Neshoba wouldn't allow Marlboro to get any closer. Stratface pours in her third, and later it's Jillian Fay who picks up her lone goal of the day. The Lady Chieftains would go up 4 and go on to win by 2, 14-12.
After a 1-3 start to the year, the Lady Panthers have won 4 in a row by an average of 10 goals a game. Let's hope they can keep it up and catch division-leading Shepherd Hill by season's end. Next, we're going to head to the field house where Jasmine Mulu saw the boys volleyball team take on Abby Kelly. Jazz?
The Marlboro Panthers took on the Abby Kelly Bears at Marlboro High. The first set was a solid presentation from both teams, neither backing down. Marlboro would take the lead with a strong spike from number 10, ending the first set 25-23. The fans in the stands looked on in anticipation for the second set. Marlboro dominated in the second set with some strong hits and teamwork. Number 22 hits a sweet ace that throws the Bears off. Marlboro takes the set with this play and ends it with a score of 25-14. Regroup before the third set and come back to fight. Number 10 hits a strong ace and then continued to add points for his team with this close call up of the net, and his teammate celebrates this point with him. Number 5 also hits a strong ace for Abby Kelly, but the Panthers would not back down. Number 22 goes for the kill shot and is successful. Then number 8's strong hit gives Marlboro the last point they needed to take the game, 3-0.
Thanks, Jazz. Well, it's been an up-and-down season for the Panthers. After the opening day win, Marlboro lost 4 in a row, won 3 in a row, then lost at Wachusett 3-0. They're still in the mix, but they'll need a strong finish to the season to keep any hope of a postseason berth alive. And to wrap up our visit with Marlboro, we're going to head over to the Diamond, where the softball team took on the Flyers of Framingham.
After dropping their first 2 games of the season, Marlboro looked to bounce back as they squared off against the Flyers from Framingham High. In the top of the first, with the runner on second, Avazian gets a piece of it, but check out the bare-handed snag by LeConte. That keeps the runner put. But a batter later, Lincoln laces a line drive to center, The runner trots in, and Framingham took an early 1-0 lead. But Marlboro and their shortstop, Abby Larson, would make sure that didn't last long. Here in the bottom of the first, the runner on third, Larson crushes one down the left field line. McGashling scores, and here comes Larson all the way around for the inside the park home run. Panthers led 3-1 after one. But they weren't done, not by a long shot. Starting pitcher Leah Chatalian gets the second going with a line drive to left. Then with the runners on first and second, Marlboro plays a little small ball, but Framingham doesn't make the sound play. First, the pitcher doesn't throw to first, then makes the late decision to throw to third. The ball rolls out of play, the run scores, and the inning would continue. And it's Larson who strikes again. She tattoos another ball to left, and the runner from third comes in to increase the lead. Abby would finish the day with 5 RBIs. Later, a wild pitch plays Catamaris, and to cap off the second, Julie Barnes comes up with the runner on third and rips the double down the third base line. Marlboro scored 7 in the second, and we're up 10-1 after 2. Framingham had trouble making plays in the field. Marlboro, not so much. Freshman Leanne Whittam took care of business in the third. First, she can't get a grip, but sticks with it and fires a strike to first. Then she reacts quickly to the line drive and doubles off the runner at second. Marlboro would go on to rout the Flyers, 24-1.
Since that win, the Lady Panthers have gone 3-3. But in their win over Algonquin on the 29th, Abby Larson had one of the best days I've ever heard of. Listen to this. She hit 4 home runs and had 10 RBIs. Those are video game numbers. Way to go, Abby. We're going to take a quick timeout, but when we come back, we're heading over to AMSA to check out the Eagles. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, Aaron. Show me what it looks like to run like a girl.
My hair.
Show me what it looks like to fight like a girl. Now throw like a girl.
Aw.
So do you think you just insulted your sister?
No. I mean, yeah, insulted girls, but not my sister.
My name is Dakota, and I'm 10 years old.
Show me what it looks like to run like a girl. Throw like a girl. Fight like a girl. What does it mean to you when I say run like a girl?
It means run fast as you can.
I play to be a role model in my neighborhood.
I play to be part of the team.
I play to be stronger than my brothers.
I play to channel my energy in a positive way.
I play because the field is where I shine. I play to win.
A concussion is a traumatic brain injury that affects how your brain works. Know the warning signs. Concussions don't just happen from landing on the ground. They can also happen from jarring contact with another person, like a base, top, or back spot. If you or one of your teammates has the symptoms of a concussion, tell your coach immediately. If symptoms show up after practice or a game, tell your parents. Cheering with a concussion is dangerous and can lead to a longer recovery time. A medical professional can diagnose a concussion and give you a timetable for how much rest you need. A second head injury while you have a concussion can be devastating, even life-threatening. So make sure you're fully recovered before returning. The sooner you see a doctor about a possible concussion, the sooner you can get on the path to recovery. For more information, visit cheersafe.org/concussions.
Welcome back to Sports Wrap. Stop number 2 on our tour through the city takes us to AMSA, well, 4 Kicks to be exact, where we sat down with their softball coach, Jenna Potano. What type of a personality would you say that you take on when you are coaching your team?
Well, I would say I'm very competitive. So I feel like I can be tough at times, but I also have a pretty big sense of humor, and I like to develop that rapport with the girls, so I can also, you know, find the time to be funny and be real with them. But, you know, when it's practice time and it's game time, you know, I want to compete. I want to, you know, my goal is to get to the playoffs every year. And, you know, we've gotten to the playoffs before, but we haven't got past that first game yet, and that's still my goal, is to get past that first round of playoffs.
You had talked to me a little bit about the fact that your team came one game short of making it to the playoffs last year. Does that push you as a coach every single year?
Absolutely. And, you know, at first I was like, you know, I just want the team I had 2 years ago. I lost 6 seniors. And I always say, like, I wish I just kept having that team over and over again. I felt like if I did, then, you know, the sky's the limit. But obviously that's not the case. Right, seniors graduate. However, I feel like now I'm going to get it because I have such a young team that now each year we're just going to become better and better, and we get to play together until we get to that point. So when I came in, those girls were sophomores, and you know, and I feel like they left and we were still unfinished, you know. And last year with us not making the playoffs, I was like, oh my goodness, like we haven't done this yet. Like, are we regressing? Like, oh no, like I started reflecting on my coaching, but we were a young team, and you know, you got to have that team camaraderie in order to get some damage done on the field.
Coach Patano and her club won 3 of their first 4 going into their inter-city matchup with undefeated Assabet Valley.
Due to field conditions, the 3-1 Lady Eagles moved their home game to Assabet Valley, where they took on the 6-0 Lady Aztecs. AV's Amber Bolio kept the Eagles grounded all afternoon. Here in the top of the first, she gets the strikeout, but Self can't reel it in, and the runner will be ruled safe at first. It wouldn't matter, though, as Bolio gets the next batter with the high heat to retire the side. In Assabet's half of the inning, Trinity Grenier would start a rally with 2 outs as she goes the other way and shoots the liner over Carvello's head in right field. Grenier notches the first of her 2 triples, and next it's Sage Hollenkamp who goes opposite field, driving in Grenier from third to put AV up 1 after the first. Bolio and company would make quick work of AMSA in the second, including this strikeout of Nina Gavin. And then in the bottom of the inning, AV puts up a crooked number. With runners at first and second, Self looks to put down a sacrifice. AMSA doesn't cover the bag, and that would load the bases for Olivia Garcia. Garcia knocks the base hit to center, driving in Ryan and LeConte to make it a 3-run game. Coach Bertano would try to settle her freshman, Piper Kenny, but AV would continue to attack. Rachel Raymond drops a single over the second baseman, plating both Self and Garcia. ASPA would score 5 in the inning and lead 6-0 after 2. AMSA would get runners on, but Bolio continued to put up zeros. Here, she sits down Kinney with the off-speed pitch. On the other side, the Aztecs kept adding to their lead. Up 7-0 in the fourth, Grenier again goes the other way. She would finish the day with 3 extra base hits. Then Hollenkamp once again drives in Grenier from third. All of that would be plenty of support for the Aztec starter. Even when AMSA made good contact, AV was there to make the plays in the field, like this nice running catch by Lagatola. She admires her work as she strikes a pose. Then Amber finishes off her strong performance by getting Kinney to pop out to end the game. AV wins 10-0 and improves to 7-0.
After the loss to the Aztecs, the Lady Eagles have won 2 of their last 3 ball games, but will have to play better within their division to have a chance at the Colonial League title. Now switching from softball to hardball, we head back over to Four Kicks, where before the season started, we had a chance to talk with their baseball coach, John Gendron. What about as far as like your in-game management style? Are you known to be more aggressive? Are you letting guys maybe just kind of hit, like, you know, like whenever like a situation comes up, like last night we were talking about before, 9th inning in a major league game that I watched. 9th inning, road team's down by 1, they get the leadoff runner on base. Now instead of, you know, playing small ball, bunch them over and having those 2 opportunities with the guy at second base and 1 out, they chose the route of 3 opportunities with the guy at first. The first guy strikes out, the next 2 guys ground out, game over. Now, in that kind of a situation, what are you doing as far as that's concerned? Are you going to play that small ball tactic, or are you going to let your guys hit in the box?
I would say typically I tend to lean towards driving balls and not playing small ball. I like to see line drives and hits, and I really try to teach each player that they can hit a gap and they can drive the ball. But in that specific instance, I would probably look at who I have up in the lineup. My middle guys, my 2, 3, 4, probably my 1 through 5, I most likely would see what they can do and put my faith in them. And if I'm got small ball guys up that really can't drive the gaps as well, I'd probably bunt them over and give another small ball guy an opportunity to get a base hit, just a single to get the job done. I think that I need to grow as a coach and play more small ball. I'm trying to incorporate that a little bit
more. Take it
more.
when it comes?
Yeah, because as a player, I was never a small ball player. I never liked that side of it, but I do understand that it can be the difference between wins and losses, and a lot of times that, especially with our team in the past, we've had trouble hitting the ball and keep hitting the ball hard and keeping them honest, and we've been more of a single small ball type of club, and I need to be a little bit more flexible with that, and I think I'm learning to be.
Thanks to both coaches for taking the time to sit down for those interviews. If you want to see those or any of the other interviews that we've done here on WMCT Sports, you can go to our website at WMCT-TV.com, click on the Video on Demand tab, and then search Coach's Corner. Well, Coach Gendron keeps it loose in his dugout, and it pays dividends on the field. We're going to take a look at their game as they took on Bay Path.
The 5-0 Eagles took the field over at Stevens Park, looking to stay unbeaten as they took on Bay Path. AMSA got on the board early. After a walk and a stolen base for Tim Wong, Colin Craig lines a shot up the middle to set up first and second with one down. Trey Faciulio would strike out after a 10-pitch at-bat. With 2 outs, sophomore Andrew Cash comes through with the base knock. Wong and Craig score to put AMSA up 2-0 after 1. Moving ahead to the third, AMSA continues to keep the Minutemen at bay. Faciulio fields, flips to Craig, and Craig slings it to Kevin McCauley at first for the inning-ending double play. Coach Gendron was fired up, and his club would strike again for runs in their half of the frame. Nick Battaglino leads off with a hot shot past Kopke at third. A walk to Craig would bring up Cash again with ducks on the pond, and Cash delivers again. This time he launches it over the left fielder's head, plating both runners. Cash would finish the day 3 for 3 with 4 RBIs. But the road team would respond in the fourth. With 2 runners on, Wong bounces one in the dirt. Runners on first and second turn into runners on second and third. Next, Andrew Flanagan singles up the middle, driving in Shoemaker. Then Cam Sistis fights one the other way. Kopke trots in as Bay Path cuts the deficit to 2. The Minutemen would tack on another run with a sac fly in the 5th to make it a 1-run game. In the bottom of the 5th, Craig comes up with Battaglino on third, and Colin does his job by putting the ball in play. The shortstop decides to go to first, and once he does, Nick breaks for home. That run would prove to be crucial. The next inning, reliever Nishant Jam loses control on this one. The runner advances to third, and on the very next pitch, Flanagan scores on the fielder's choice to bring Bay Path back within 1. In the 7th, Coach Gendron would hand the ball over to Cash to close it out. With 2 outs and a runner on third, Flanagan goes the other way, but McCauley knocks it down and dives headfirst to get the out. That ends the game, and AMSA improves to 6-0.
That win capped off a perfect 6-0 month of April, and they currently sit atop the Colonial League King. We'll see if they have what it takes to stay there over the course of the next few weeks. Coming up after the break, we're going to head over to Assabet Valley to see what's up with the Aztecs. Stick around.
Let's go!
I touched it. I touched the ball before it went out, Coach.
Come on, Alex. The ref did not call that.
You gotta be kidding me, Alex.
It's the championship game.
Talk to him, Coach. I touched it. It's their ball.
Don't foul them when they inbound. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go on, Alex.
Sorry, Coach.
Alex. Good call.
Sportsmanship. Pass it on.
Red. I think everyone walks around with something that you can't see.
We all go through it. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are, man.
The best thing that I did was to come out and say, hey, look, I need some help.
Never be ashamed of wanting to be a better you, period.
I obviously have a stutter, it's no secret, and I went through the ups and the downs of being made fun of, from my words getting said back to me or getting called Stuttering Stanley, all that stuff. I leaned on my mom and dad as a kid. They helped me through a lot. I thought back to how far I've come since high school when I didn't like to talk, I didn't like to speak in public unless I was on a playing field. Baseball allowed me to go out and not think about having to speak in public and not think about the social anxiety aspect of it, to be who I was and be who I wanted to be, and I'm out of my shell. I want kids to go to be themselves and to enjoy their lives. Being who you want to be and being who you are is the most important thing in this world. Don't let anybody stop you from that.
MLB, ESPN, and X Games are teaming up to shred hate. Learn more at shredhate.org.
Thanks for sticking with us here on Sports Wrap. Our last stop through the city is going to take us to Aspet Valley. Let's check out the boys volleyball team as they took on Medfield.
Aspet Valley boys volleyball came into their match against Medfield 3-1 on the young season, and the Aztecs were in complete control throughout. In the first set, Troy Hudson hits a well-placed serve. The Warriors can't control the return, which sets up Silas Diaz for the attack. Medfield can't react, and AB takes the point. Then Diaz puts his passing on display. First to Matt Scanlon, and Scanlon wins the joust. Then he sets up the big man, Jeff Hunter, and Jeff hammers in the spike. But it's not all about their attacking. Here, Hunter and Diaz go up for the double block. Number 20 had no chance on that one. And then it's three-sport athlete Jerry McManus who denies the Warrior attempt. The Aztecs dominate the first, 25-9. After taking the second set, 25-15, AV continued to impose their will in the third. Another good serve by Hudson results in a service winner. Then Diaz, who finished with 19 assists, sets up Hunter again. Jeff finished the day with 11 kills. Later, DaCosta sets up Daniel Paiva for one of his 5 kills. Paiva also had 13 assists. This one to Scanlon, who led the Aztecs with 19 kills. And McManus finishes off the match with this kill. Aspet cruises 3-0 and improves to 4-1 on the year.
The Aztecs continue to remain undefeated and are positioning themselves for a #1 overall seed in the district playoffs. We'll certainly keep an eye on them as the season winds down. Next up is the boys lacrosse team. After losing their opening game of the season to Northbridge, they rattled off 3 wins in a row before facing crosstown rival AMSA.
The 3-1 Aztecs took on the 3-2 Eagles at Aztec Stadium. The Aztecs start out strong with the first goal of the game from Keegan Roche. The Eagles would respond back with a fire shot from Nate Lee. The Eagles would take the first quarter 4-2. The Eagles continued to play strong into the second quarter. Mangu Gupata would take advantage of the field around him and pass the ball to his teammate Broderick Satter, who found the back of the net, and the boys celebrated. After some rallying from the coaching staff, the Aztecs used teamwork to get the ball as close to the net as possible. Then Jake Taylor jukes his defender, makes his way to the front of the net, and scores despite the contact. However, the Eagles took the second quarter 3-7 with another powerful shot from Broderick Satter. The Aztecs would continue to fight back throughout the second half of the game, even though the Eagles' defense was strong. Steve Savoy would eventually work the ball down low, turn, fire, and blow it past the D. Later in the third, Nate Lee does it all by himself. He comes all the way from behind the net, turns, and fires from 10 yards out to put his club up, and the Eagles would go on to win in overtime 11-10.
Since the loss, AV has won 2 of their last 3, while AMSA continues to roll. They're 8-2, winning their last 6. Let's head back to the Diamond, where the Lady Aztec softball team is poised for another playoff run. Let's take a look at their game against Tohoto.
Aspet Valley softball took on the Lady Stags of Tohoto at home in game number 2 of the season, and they got off to a fast start. In the bottom of the first, Grenier comes up with Raymond on third, and Trinity drops in front of the center fielder to drive in Raymond. Then it's Lagatolo who punches the 1-2 pitch deep into the left center field gap. Grenier scores easily to go up 2-0. Lagatolo would score a batter later on the Petroni fielder's choice. Then, after a single by LeConte and a walk to Tardif, Garcia slaps the single up the middle. LeConte rounds third and scores. AV would take a 5-0 lead after 1. Tahanto would chip away at the Lady Aztec lead in the second. They would plate 2, including this solo shot from starting pitcher Natasha Francisco. Then, an inning later, they would take the lead, scoring 5 in the third. Here, they get a bloop to drop in, scoring the runner from second. Then, a line drive the opposite way gets into the gap. The runner from first comes all the way around to score. Later, another bloop drops in, this time over first. The runner from second comes in to score, and Tahanto led 7-6 after 2.5. However, the Lady Aztecs would right the ship, scoring 3 in the third and 7 in the fourth. Here in the fourth, with runners on first and second, Lagatola smashes it to the right center field gap this time. Petroni scores. Then, after Grenier scores on a fielder's choice, Self steps up and shoots one back up the middle, driving in Lagatola. And to cap off the huge inning, Hollenkamp blasts this shot over the center fielder's head, and Self scores. AV would tack on 6 more in the fifth and go on to blow out Tahanto, 22-11.
The only loss this season for the Lady Aztecs came against division-leading Blackstone Valley on the 24th. They'll have a chance to avenge that defeat as they travel to Blackstone Valley on May 15th. And to close out the show, we're going to head over to Northborough, where the Aztec baseball team hosted the Aztec Invitational at the New England Baseball Complex. There, they took on Millbury in the final.
3-1 Aspet Valley looked to capture the Aztec Invitational Championship as they took the field against the Woolies of Millbury High. With 2 down and a runner on second in the bottom of the first, Isaac Wagner smokes this fastball deep into the left center field gap. The runner scores easily from second to give AV an early 1-0 lead. Starting pitcher Tyler Dossis had himself a day, but he had to get out of some trouble here in the top of the second. With a runner at first, he gives up the single to put 2 men on, but Tyler fights through it. First, he gets a swing and miss for out number 1. Then he induces a soft fly ball to center. And after walking a man to load the bases, he gets the next batter to pop out to second to get out of the jam. AV would tack on another run in their half of the second. First baseman Austin Stone lines one to center. The center fielder doesn't get a good read on it. The ball rolls all the way to the wall, and Stone trots into second with a stand-up double. Then, after a bunt to move the runner over to third, Justin Giusti turns on one and laces it past the reach of the third baseman. Cormier, the pinch runner, comes in to score, and the Aztecs lead 2-0 after 2. That would prove to be more than enough for Dossis. In the third, he struck out 2. Here on the heater, then he breaks off the curve and freezes Jack Ramuck. Then in the fourth, he gets the hitter to chase out of the zone. Coach Silk had to be pleased with his pitcher's performance, but Dossis wasn't finished. In the fifth, he blows this batter away with the fastball, then fools Valentin with the hook. Tyler finished the day with 10 Ks while giving up only 4 hits. AV would add an insurance run in the 6th. With runners at the corners, Giusti breaks for second. The ball's thrown into center field. LeClaire scores from third to put AV up 3-0, and they take home the Aztec Invitational Tournament Championship.
AV has gotten off to a great start here in 2019. They finished April 2nd in their division, but with a couple of games left to be played against AMSA, that could change very quickly. Well, that's going to do it for this month. Check back next month to see how your local teams did in the month of May. The playoffs are going to be here before you know it. For WMCT Sports, I'm Matt Bisaccio, and we'll see you next time on WMCT Sports Wrap.